Hello and welcome to EQ 111 Essential Questions. My name is Preston Carmack. I am your instructor for this course, and I'm glad you're here. In this course, we're going to be talking about difficult conversations and how to have those skillfully, courageously. Um, there are a lot of things that go into having good communication skills at an interpersonal level, at an organizational level. The skills we're going to be talking about and learning in this class, they apply to family relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, in the workplace. These skills, kind of think of them like tools that you're adding to your toolbox to be an effective communicator, a better communicator, and a more conscientious communicator. So I'm excited to get into this with you. In this video, we're going to be looking at the syllabus and some of the assignments that you'll be encountering throughout the course of the class. As always, I'm available for any questions that you might have as we go along the way. I have office hours and some other things that we'll discuss here. All right, I hope you can see my screen. All right, I'm going to take you through the syllabus. One thing to notice here at the very start of the class, we've got the information here with the class title, course information. This class runs from June 19th through July 28th. It's an asynchronous online class, and we're doing this in an accelerated format. So this is 3 credits that if you are taking this face-to-face during the fall or spring semesters, it would be over the course of 15 or 16 weeks. So we're condensing a lot of material into a short period of time, but I really believe that you're going to be able to do this and that it will serve you well as we do this together. So my email address you can find here, carmackp@duq.edu. And you can see my contact information there. As always, like I mentioned, you're welcome to reach out if you have questions or concerns. I have office hours on Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. and Thursdays from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I'm also available for other meeting times outside of office hours if one of those doesn't work for you. You can see here the course description and purpose. One of the most rewarding and challenging parts of human life is communicating across difference. Have you ever had this kind of challenge where maybe it's a friend who has a different set of life experiences than you do, or a family member? It can be challenging to do that kind of listening and communication with care and with just a knowledge of what is effective communication and what is not. This class is going to give you the tools to be able to do that. Right, so learning outcomes, you're going to be able to reflect on communication about real world issues, be able to identify the impact of communication practices on self, others, relationships, and the larger community. And then you'll be able to evaluate communication practices relevant to the discussion of controversial issues, things that involve moral and ethical stances, value systems, contested goods. You'll also demonstrate critical thinking skills, and you'll be able to explain implications of your communicative practices for yourself, for the other, for relationships and the larger community. Here's a list of the required texts. You should be able to see this on a link on our Canvas learning site, as well as your self-service Duquesne information. It's at the bookstore. These 3 texts are Conflict Between Persons, Thanks for the Feedback, and the Crucial Conversations book. So all of these are important and necessary. You won't be able to successfully complete the course without them. And because of the nature of the course, it's online, asynchronous, accelerated pace, you really need to have these at the beginning of class, right? So the first week, you're going to need these to be able to do your work. Important notes on the class format. So the basis of this class is thoughtful conversation in a variety of contexts. Because of that, the assignments in this course are intended to engage you in individual reflection and interpersonal dialogue. Because of the format of the class, there are 3 important notes to keep in mind. So first, the class is both asynchronous and online, as I mentioned. We don't have regularly scheduled class meeting times. Instead, you're expected to take the initiative to do the work on your own or with group members. Self-motivation and the ability to follow deadlines without regular reminders will be important for your success in this class. In an effort to be helpful, I'll have regular office hours, the times I mentioned previously, twice a week. So if you really need that kind of connection time with a person in real time, you're welcome to reach out and come talk if you have questions, but also you may just want to talk about the material, and that's completely fine. You're welcome to come to office hours. Our class is 3 credits and it runs from June 19th through the 28th of July. Because of this, so this is important, your course content and due dates, it moves at an accelerated speed. So the readings, the assignments, they all come pretty quickly. So staying on top of things is really, really important. It's also important to check your email regularly because the class is online and we're learning at an accelerated pace. I will primarily communicate with the class over email, and that's also the quickest way to get a hold of me. Some general class format notes. Unit assignments are due on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. This is really straightforward. All of your assignments, except I believe the assignments for a finals week, so your final paper and your final exam, those are due on a different date because of the final exam schedule. But otherwise, all of your unit material is due on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. And then occasionally there will be additional assignments as specified in the syllabus, especially around the final exam and final paper submission times. You'll have assigned readings on a weekly basis. You'll have a unit introductory video. The readings will tie in with the introductory video. You'll have the C&Qs for the unit here. These are the concepts and questions. And you'll have a chance to answer those and submit those. And then you have attendance and participation discussion board posts for each unit as well. And finally, your case studies, which are due for each unit. I'll explain each of these assignments in a little bit more detail here in just a moment. You'll see the grading rubric right here. This involves a number of different assignments and their points and the percentage of the total grade for the class. So the first assignment here is the attendance and participation discussion board posts. It's worth 100 total points for the course, 10% of your total in the class. The C&Qs are also 100, 10% total. Case studies are 200 points, which is 20% of your total grade in the class. Your midterm exam is worth 200 points. Your final paper, 200 points. Your final paper is also worth 200 points. Each of those 20% of your total grade in the class. So a little more detail about these assignments. Attendance and participation. So your attendance and participation grade is based on your discussion board posts. For each unit, you're expected to post at least 2 comments on the attendance and participation discussion board, and your comments should be at least 25 to 50 words. Comments can be in one of several formats. So it could be a question or a thought from your M&Qs, or a response or a question to another person's post. It could also be a comment or item you found interesting related to the week's theme or readings, or a question, comment concerning the introductory lecture or video that you saw. Right, so there's a lot of different things that you can comment on and have discussion on. The motivation for this is to give us an experience that allows us to connect with each other, because we don't have face-to-face classroom time. This is our equivalent of that, okay? Concepts and questions, these are your C&Qs. These concepts are key ideas that support the main ideas of the text that we're reading for the week. You'll submit C&Qs for each unit based on your readings. And for each unit, you're going to identify and describe 5 concepts that are central to difficult conversations. Each concept should include a quote and citation from the text. So where is it coming from? We need to know page numbers, and a brief description in your own words of no more than 2 sentences. You'll also submit 5 questions from the class readings. These questions will be used to generate conversation in the discussion boards, hopefully. C&Qs are graded according to the following rubric. So, for example, you can have 5 of these. You're doing this 5 times for each unit. Concept and question 1 are both present, so you're getting 2 points for that. Your 1-sentence definition of concept 1 from the textbook. And then you have proper citation for material coming from the textbook and a 1-sentence explanation of concept 1 in your own words, right? So you're seeing the points that are coming from that. So if, for example, I'm reading the book and one of the concepts that comes up, I'm reading in the Conflict Between Persons book, and one of the concepts they discuss is dialogic civility, then I would go ahead and select that concept. I'd identify it maybe at the top of my page, and then I'd give a 1-sentence definition of dialogic civility coming from the textbook. So something like, the textbook talks about dialogic civility being a engagement with others that's textured by care, kindness, and thoughtfulness for the other, right? And then cite page number 56 by Arnett, Bell, Arnett, Fritz, and Bell, 2018, put the proper APA citation in there. And then in my own words, I'd explain concept one, which is dialogic civility is an important framework for negotiating conflict and being able to treat people professionally and with kindness, even when we may not personally like them, right? That would be my definition in my own words, right? So, and then I make sure to have a question that comes out of that. Maybe my question is, how would you go about practicing dialogic civility in a challenging workplace environment where everyone seems to be rude instead of civil, right? That could be my question. So you've got concept, question coming up from the concept, and then your one sentence definition, proper citation, and your explanation in your own words. That's where points are coming from for each of these assignments. Case studies. So for case studies, you're working in groups to collect insights from news sources, trade magazines, academic journals about navigating conflict and civility. These happen once per unit, and you're going to research and present a short 10-minute video of your case study. Together as a group, you're going to identify the article that you have been assigned and coordinate together to set up a time to record a 10-minute video on Zoom. The video should be downloaded only after recording on Zoom and uploaded to case studies assignment submission box on Canvas. Only one team member needs to submit this, and this is going to be done on a discussion board format so that we can all see your videos. Right, and if you'd like, I'm willing to let you choose your own article assignments. In fact, this may actually be for the best at times for you to find your own articles. When we are doing this in person, this is actually really helpful. But if you're not able to or wanting to use the assigned article, that is also okay. But once you've determined your article that you're doing, you're going to then summarize the topic. So you're going to do this together in your video. You're going to summarize the topic and the findings of the article. You're going to identify a particular concept related to dialogic civility. That's a guiding theme in the article. And then you'll share 3 to 5 insights from the article for engaging difficult conversations. And then finally, 2 questions that you would ask the authors. Case studies will be graded on the quality of engagement with the material, connections to course themes, and active participation by all group members. Group assignments are going to be posted in Canvas. You'll have access to that on the first day of class. Midterm exam. So the midterm exam will consist of approximately 20 multiple choice questions. The midterm covers content from Unit 1 and Unit 2. The test is available on Canvas from Friday, 7/3 at 12 a.m. and closes on Sunday, 7/9 at 11:59 p.m. You have to complete the exam in one setting, and the test is open book and open note. Your final exam will consist of approximately 20 multiple choice questions, right? It's really similar to the midterm. It opens on 7/24 at 12 a.m. and closes on Friday, 7/28 at 11:59 p.m., right? And it's also open book and open note. Your final paper, so this is important, and we'll get into some more details on this as we get closer to the due date, but each of you will write an individual final paper that consists of considering a historical or current event dealing with challenging conversations, right? So you're selecting a historical event. Then the research question that will drive the paper should be identified by the date listed in the syllabus, and the project should be supported with reports from news sources like the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Guardian. Drawing on course texts, you will then bring your chosen case study, your historical example, into conversation with 5 different concepts from communication theory that we find in our course texts, and you'll reflect on the importance of concepts for communicating with civility. Your paper should follow APA or MLA style, and you'll see some brief kind of guidelines here. So you have a length requirement, you're identifying a key case study, 2 to 3 news sources, you're looking for 5 concepts from the course study, from our course texts. These can actually be key concepts that you pulled from your CNQs, as we did those all semester. And then following proper formatting and grammar. Academic integrity policy, you'll see that here. This needs to be your own work. Not only Are you cheating yourself if you're engaging in academic dishonesty? But you're also violating the rules of our community. So this is something we take really seriously at Duquesne. And if you have any questions about what might constitute as academic dishonesty or plagiarism, please reach out. I'm really happy to help provide some clarification or answer any questions you might have. Some big rules of thumb are do your own work, right? So any writing that's around, you should be doing that on your own and writing it, not going to friends or copying other material or even taking material that you did in other classes. This needs to be your own original work that's responding to this class. Similarly, other AI language materials are off the table. I don't allow the use of those in this class because this content is supposed to be your reflection and your processing of these things. We have tools that will detect that kind of thing, whether it's AI plagiarism or plagiarism from other sources on the web. So just don't do it. And you'll see the whole integrity policy here. Course schedule is here. You're going to see, like I mentioned before, our course starting on Monday at 12 a.m. is when your new course will open. You'll see the assignments. Zoom hours are there, Zoom office hours. You'll see the material that's due by that following Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And that's the format that we have for our courses, our course schedule here. You will see also that we have a midterm exam due. That's on the 9th of July. And then quickly start winding up into finals week. That brings us to the end of the syllabus. If you have any questions, again, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to do my best to answer anything you might have there. But I'm looking forward to this class with you. And I'm looking forward to having conversations about what it means to engage in difficult conversations and in interpersonal relationship building. These are skills that will last you a lifetime, and that really, as I've engaged with these kinds of skills, they've led to richer relationships, better promotions at work, better kind of upward mobility, and also an ability to see the world differently that allows me to engage with care and with kindness and hopefully with communicative skill. So be well, and this is the introductory video. You'll be able to check out all of the course materials starting when the class opens up on our first day of class, Monday, June 19th. Take care all. Bye.